For people that don't understand why content is so important.
So important. In this age right now where you have literally at your fingertips free opportunities to promote.
Everyone right now should build a brand.
I didn't know I was building the brand. I didn't know I was doing this. I was just like, I hope this works.
Personal brand on social media is worth millions.
This year we raised $68 million in private money. How did we do that? Instagram, YouTube. It is the modern way to raise capital.
I had an event the other day at my downstairs. I think we charged $5,000, had about 60 people show up. I taught them my process. And when they say, well, how do I know it works? Look at my social media.
It's important that you do it. I think anybody watching right now, you've watched Ryan. You've seen what he's been able to accomplish in his journey of sharing. If you've taken action on any of his information, his courses, or anything, any of his businesses that he's involved in, you have seen a change in your life. Imagine if you hadn't done that. If Ryan didn't turn the camera on and get loud, where would I be? You have the exact same potential.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad I did it. I think everyone should do it.
I think the toughest part of all of this, really, when you're building a brand and you're going this direction, is knowing how do you make money from all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Right? Like in your guys' content, your new business, I'm super excited about this because I think somebody should have done this 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. But with your new company, are you guys showing people not only how to post, but also how to make money from it?
Oh yeah. Yep. So the mission statement is helping entrepreneurs build their personal brand and business on social media. And the goal is to teach them not only how to get views, but turn those views into dollars. So
I think, so here's one of the biggest takeaways I took away from Grant's thing 3 months ago. He says, only 1% of my audience buys a product from me. Mm-hmm. 99% of people don't. And so you have to give them something to invest in other than a product. And I was like, what does that mean? And for me, it was watching him put these funds together, right? These big real estate funds. It's like, this is what I took from it. I go, 99% of your audience will never buy a product from you because they don't believe in themselves. It's not that they don't believe in Ryan Pineda or Pace Morby. It's they don't believe in themselves to take action on it. Mm-hmm. But when you put a Pineda fund together, what's your guys' fund called?
Pineda Capital.
So Pineda Capital.
Yep.
Now those 99% of people that don't necessarily trust themselves to go buy something to then have to take action,
right?
They know that Pineda is going to make something happen.
Yeah.
And what Grant said was the people who invest in Cardone Capital or Pineda Capital, they go home and they pray for you to be successful. I was like, oh my gosh, this is, for people that don't understand why content is so important, it is the modern way to raise capital. So if you want to go buy $100 million in real estate, you have to, like this year we raised $68 million in private money. How did we do that? Not by cold calling people. That's stuff that Wolf of Wall Street did 20, 30 years ago. It's now everything has to go through Instagram, YouTube, et cetera. And I tell people too, like if you don't have a YouTube, I don't think you're credible because I don't think YouTube can be hacked.
No, yeah.
Instagram can be hacked.
Yeah.
You look at somebody with 2 million followers on Instagram, you're like, nope. YouTube, I'm like verified.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, yeah. And that's the thing too, is I tell people this at Content Empire. I'm like, hey, so, not only is organic traffic going to be great for your business and all this stuff, but if you do start running paid traffic, it's going to amplify it so much because guess what? If nobody's ever heard of Pace Morby, what's the first thing they're going to do?
Google.
They're going to Google, they're going to look up, see if this guy's got any YouTube videos or anything. They're going to see, oh, dude, he's got 100,000 subs. He's doing these live streams. He's got like, okay, cool. I can get behind this guy. And by the time, they see your ad, they're good.
Yep.
So I just don't see a scenario in the world to come where you can get away with not making content because your competitor will, and then you're toast. Like
you're irresponsible is what you are. You're irresponsible. To me, I tell people, imagine McDonald's trying to sell a hamburger without a single golden arch on their building. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I'm driving down the freeway from Nevada to Arizona.
Yeah.
And I'm going to hang out at Pineda's studio and I'm hungry. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for the golden arches. I know there's a hamburger I can go buy right there.
Right.
But if you're not branding yourself, you're not posting yourself, you're not doing anything, like, how do I even know what you offer? How do I even know what you have for me to buy? I have no clue how to spend money with you.
Well, and the thing is too, this was something I took away from Grant too. He was like, hey, assume no one's ever seen your ad.
Yeah.
Right. And, I'm doing a big launch for my book coming out.
Yeah.
And,
When?
I'm like, December 13th.
Okay.
So I'm like talking about it every day right now. And it's funny because in my mind, I'm like, everybody's seen it. And then I'm like, you know what? No, they haven't.
They haven't, dude.
Everyone has not seen it. I'm just
They
going to post it
haven't
nonstop.
seen it. We have this big meetup going on with DJ Envy and the Breakfast Club and on Thursday this week in New Jersey.
Okay.
I've been posting about it every 2 days. And I'm like, it's on my stories and I post it today. Like, I'm so excited about the meetup coming up on Thursday. And people are like, what meetup? I'm like, where have you been for 30 days?
Yeah.
The thing we forget as content creators is that we're on there every day I'm on Instagram probably every day for 15 to 45 minutes. Most people in your world, your audience, they're not on there every day. They might go on there every...
at all these other, you don't know what the algorithm's feeding them and, whatever. So yeah, I was like, all right, I'm just going to post it. But, long story short, I think that you just have to get over it and just constantly be marketing, because McDonald's could not just quit marketing today, even though they've established such a great brand, right? And all of a sudden people, like, they're not going to lose market share. They will. Like, if you don't stay top of mind, no matter how successful you've been in the long run, it doesn't matter.
That's scary to think that even McDonald's, if they stop marketing, would lose market share. They're
would.
the king. Everybody knows McDonald's.
Yep. They would lose market share.
And the people that say, oh, well, I don't see a billboard and go buy a hamburger. Yes, you do. You just don't know you do.
Right.
And it's the same thing with anything, right? If you're a real estate investor and you're trying to raise capital, guess what's going to happen? Beardy Brandon, good friend of both of ours, Beardy Brandon's ad on Instagram is going to push that accredited investor over to his fund versus ours.
Yeah, because he was top of mind.
Top of mind.
Yep. And it's the same thing with just like every business in general. It's like, I was actually thinking about this the other day. We were just watching the Netflix before this with Zac Efron.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was thinking, man, where has Zac Efron been? Like, he's got like this
took
weird...
like he pieced out for like 2 years or something.
Yeah, I'm like, his face looks totally different. Like, everything about him's different. And where's he been? And the fact was, I hadn't thought about Zac Efron for 2 years because he just wasn't out there. And he's a mega A-list celebrity. And you see celebrities like that who all of a sudden they re-show up in a movie. I was watching Netflix again the other day and I saw Lindsay Lohan was in a movie. And I was like, Lindsay Lohan, where has she been? But to the point, when you don't stay top of mind, it does not matter how relevant you are or how famous you are at that very moment. It will go away.
It will go away. And I think the other thing that people really want to consume is they want to consume a product that they actually feel like they're a part of, right? Versus like, oh, I saw McDonald's and I saw their ad. They want to feel like they're part of your world, right? They want to know your wife, your kids, et cetera. They trust you, all those types of things. So people that are out there, I don't care who you are. If you're an insurance agent, you're a bicycle repairman, I don't care what it is, creating funny content along the lines of whatever it is you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Same thing with video guys. Like our video guys that they used to work on side projects. Now they're full-time with us, but they talk about filming with us and all of a sudden they're overwhelmed. They're getting calls from Lenovo and HP and like, hey, we saw you on Pace's Instagram. Do you want to come do an HP thing? We'll pay you $12,000. He's like, dude, how did I get so lucky? I'm like, you didn't get lucky. You just put yourself out there. That's it.
Guy walks out of my office and literally I have a Facebook account 3 minutes later. Okay. And then we ended up with 6 million people on Facebook. Before Facebook basically became a garbage dump and they started throttling everybody and you can't really get to them. But man, I've made a lot of money with Facebook until that happened. Now, then Instagram came out and I started playing on Instagram. I could not figure out Instagram.
Yeah.
For at least probably 4 years.
Wow.
Couldn't figure it out. Now today, man, that thing is just like, we're getting 800,000 views, 600,000 views a day. Yeah. Sometimes reached 11 million people last week. But it took me a long time to figure it out because it's a different gig. Right. I still haven't figured out LinkedIn. YouTube has made me, I don't even know, hundreds of millions of dollars.
What's your favorite platform?
All of them.
Me too.
I mean, that's my,
if you had to pick what's made you the most money, which one?
YouTube. YouTube's a beast, bro.
Yeah. That's where it's at.
Yeah. Like I literally can walk around places today. I never thought that it would be like this, man. I grew up in a little town. Nobody knew me, and you get this YouTube look. You probably get it.
Yeah.
You're starting
people,
to get it.
People recognize me, but they may not know my name.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
They're like, I think, oh yeah. They get this look. The look it's a weird look because if you don't recognize someone, there is no look at all. Right. This one has something extra. It's just a little.
I know what you're talking about.
It's weird, man. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, he got the YouTube look. He's gonna come over and say hi, which I love. I love people saying hi.
Right.
I can't imagine making it to the rock status. I mean, you can't go any
Can't go anywhere.
You can't go to the grocery store, you know?
Right.
But you look, the first time I saw social media, I was like, well, how often can I post? And they're like, there's no regulation on posting. I'm like, that's some good shit.
That's free.
Well, what can I say? What can I say? Anything you want. I said, shit, bruh.
Well, you used to be able to do that.
Yeah. This was before COVID.
Yeah.
But I mean, pretty much, you could still pretty much say, you can say you're the best.
Right. Right.
You can't say, hey, I'm going to make you a millionaire.
Yeah.
Or you can't do a lot of the weed stuff, right? But you can say you're the best.
Yeah.
And I like that. Because I don't mind telling people I'm the damn best. The first time I heard Muhammad Ali say, I am the greatest, I was like, God damn, why ain't I saying that? He's not even white. And he's saying it. And this back in the 60s, man. I'm like, how much courage does an individual have to say that to the world?
Right.
And then I'm like, but if I say it, people are going to be like, oh, you're bragging. Like, I get on my plane and people are like, why are you showing your plane off? Because that's the plane I'm getting on. What should I do? Should I take pictures of me getting on Southwest when I know I'm flying out on a Gulfstream 650? It's mine. It's stupid what people say, right?
Right.
So, dude, the social media for a real estate guy,
Right.
because you're doing both. You're
Right.
doing something very real that you can either keep the asset or make some money on it, sell it. And then you're doing this internet thing, this like not real. It's this, whatever this thing is.
Right.
To me, the combination of those two worlds is like a superpower.
I think it's like the ultimate cheat code in business.
Because all these other real estate syndicators that raise money, when the real estate takes a big dump, and it will in this cycle, the only place they get money.
Doing
That's
more
what-
deals. They need acquisition fees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll do bad deals to get their fee.
Whereas you and I can go
Bro,
do education.
I don't need any money. That's why anybody investing with me at Cardone Capital was always going to make more money than if they did it with an institution or a Fundrise or any of these people, because I don't need to steal from the fund.
Right.
If I need money to pay for anything, I'm like, hey, man, click the link right now. Okay, here's a free book. I mean, I know how to do that stuff.
Right.
And the real estate world will never, ever be able to catch up with that.
Right.
And most of them don't have the personalities or the good looks like you have,
Thank you. Thank you.
or the willingness to paint their hair.
There we go.
That's a gimmick I never used, bro. I got to tell you.
Well, when are you going to do it? How much is it going to take for you to go dye your hair, man?
Well, I did shave my head. Have
You
you
did?
ever shaved your head?
Yeah. Back in the day when I was 21,
Yeah, but have
I
you
had
ever
a shaved
shaved
head.
it for work?
Not since I got on social media.
Yeah, I shaved it. I shaved my head for Undercover Billionaire.
I might have to shave it just to switch it up on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Social media, the internet has changed my life. I'm such a big proponent of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's my newest company. I started a company called Content Empire, teaching entrepreneurs how to create content, create funnels, and get traffic to their business. Because I'm like, dude, if
What do you earn on funnels a day?
across all the businesses,
Just every day when it
Man.
bangs Stripe or
man, probably 50 to 100,000 a day.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
It's crazy,
yeah.
and it'll keep growing.
It's crazy. It's great, and we're not even like touching the surface of paid traffic.
Right.
Yeah. So once paid traffic gets scaled, I mean, who knows? But yeah, my main thing was like, dude, if you're an entrepreneur and you're not making content, you're not building your brand, somebody else in your niche is, and they're taking all your customers.
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
I
gotta
and
do
I
it.
and I truly believe when I watch your stuff showing up in different places, you know, I'm like, he's building so much trust. Like when you say you're pushing it down their throats, I think what really happens is because you're so frequent. I was telling you this earlier. Oh, I recognize that. I recognize that. I think that's the brand. People are not trusted until they're seen over and over. It's what Starbucks does well in street corners. Wells Fargo does it because they're everywhere. Banks create massive credibility because they use big lettering. They're everywhere. They're like, and you're building that brand, you know? And I didn't know I was building the brand. I didn't know I was doing this. I was just like, I hope this works. And everybody was telling me, you're posting too much. You're doing too much. You're bragging too much. You're doing this too much. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
but let's see what happens.
And it just keeps working.
I said, they're not telling me to stop. I hadn't got a phone call yet.
Yeah.
I said, you can't do that.
Right.
You know, in terms of just social credibility and being an authority in the space of real estate, when somebody clicks on my ad and they're like, okay, who's this dude? and they Google me. They're like, oh, he's got a television show on A&E. Okay, cool. Well, let me watch an episode of that. And then they do. And then like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Hey, let me go watch this VSL that he did about real estate. Okay, I really do believe in this guy now. Let me Google his company. Oh, wow, they're nationally franchised. I think I can trust him.
Right.
And then they become a family member. They become part of the community.
Right.
And that to me, it's like the whole puzzle piece, right? Because they got all of the things that they need to make a decision on whether or not they like me, trust me, and want to know me more.
Yeah, no, it makes 100%. I've said that all the time with social media, because most people obviously will never have a TV show, but we can all start making content.
Agreed.
And no matter what your business is, if you have some kind of content out there for people to see, you're going to be able to allow them to get to know you from whatever it is that first attracts them. If you just have a paid ad, a Genie commercial, or anything, they just hear about you. You know, the fact that they can Google you and see content about you is going to make the sale and them want to work with you that much better. So I think everybody needs to take the same principle of just get out there in some way or another. It doesn't matter if you're in real estate, if you're a plumber, if you're a roofer, everyone needs to get out there.
I think it's so important in this age right now where you have literally at your fingertips free opportunities to promote, free opportunities to share. If you're not doing it, one of two things, okay? You don't believe in yourself, or you're so crippled by the fear of judgment that it is going to destroy your dreams. Neither of those two things lead to anything good.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't. Fulfillment comes from being able to show somebody a path to success or show somebody a thing not to do. But you feel fulfilled anytime you're able to help another human being navigate life. And regardless of what your business is, when you can connect with people and resonate with them in a way that moves them, it's important that you do it.
Yeah.
And I think anybody watching right now, you know, you've watched Ryan, you've seen what he's been able to accomplish in his journey of sharing. But, you know, just think about how if you hadn't come across his content, you know, if you've taken action on any of his information, his courses, or any of his businesses that he's involved in, you have seen a change in your life. Imagine if you hadn't done that. That's the piece. That's the part where I want people to think. Like, if Ryan didn't turn the camera on and get loud, where would I be? You have the exact same potential.
I think that vertical video is the biggest opportunity in social media right now. It would be irresponsible to ignore vertical video. As a shift for us, I think as you're in anything for a while, when a major change comes, it's always a little bit frustrating because you're like, oh man, I got to reinvent myself again. Oh, another thing to do, another platform to embrace. But for the savvy entrepreneur who wants to be in business, not just today, but tomorrow, I think you have to be able to embrace where, you know, skate to where the puck is going, not just where it is. And so I think the opportunity with vertical video is, first, of course, YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is now going to offer monetization, which Mr. Beast predicts and many others that that'll attract a lot of creators away from TikTok. But I think the opportunity with vertical video that we're embracing is, first, the commitment to creating relevant vertical video, meaning this, you know, good hook, what's the big idea, learning kind of the art form. Then two, distributing it across many platforms. Because rather than thinking, oh, I should do TikTok or I should do YouTube Shorts or I should do that, I think what you should do is vertical video. I definitely agree with, you know, people used to say, I actually think this kind of not as true in today's world. They're like, you need to do different content for every platform. And I would agree with that in the sense of saying, yeah, there's a YouTube video and you may not want to upload that video to LinkedIn or something, or you shouldn't just take one picture back when Instagram was really a photo platform, just blast it everywhere, and you need to make content native to the platform. Okay, fine. But I really think in today's world, if you're making a promise with your brand, like you help people with real estate, many other things, but like you help people with real estate. So real estate tips on LinkedIn or on TikTok or on YouTube can work regardless. So as we committed to creating vertical video, which in our case was the infrastructure, it would be like editors, social media strategists in terms of chopping out the clips. What we found is we'll upload something on TikTok. We recently had a 25 million one. We uploaded that on Instagram Reels, 750,000. YouTube Shorts, 125,000. Facebook Reels, which is I think one of the most slept on things right now. We're getting consistently anywhere from 5,000 to 5 million views on Facebook Reels. This is all no extra effort besides the strategy of uploading it. And now another one we're embracing is Pinterest vertical video, which a friend of mine recently showed me that he made $13,000 on the creator fund of Pinterest vertical video. And as we started uploading our clips there, we got 7 views, 9, our shorts or our vertical videos, 22. And then one already got 1,333. And like,
This
again,
is Pinterest.
this is Pinterest.
Yeah.
And so if you know yourself, meaning your brand makes a promise. And so why do people follow Sean Cannell? Well, YouTube tips, video production tips. So for everybody listening to this, like, what's your brand? What's your brand promise? What problem do you solve? And then on top of that, I do think there's also even the broad appeal thing. I mean, I'm dropping some content. I just did one, which actually someone else found. It was part of a podcast conversation about how I got expelled from private school. And so even some personal stuff or things that are more about how I was inspired by the Wu-Tang Clan and that influenced Think Media. Like, I think there's even things that could be more broad appeal that people, they maybe get too narrow, because that could be a bridge to just reaching somebody who checks out your bio, whatever. We could go more into that. So all that to say is we have been seeing insane results from posting vertical video across multiple platforms. And the one nuance would be, if you do want to intentionally think, okay, what is there a place to enter a title? YouTube Shorts have a title. Should that title be the same as it is on TikTok? TikTok just expanded the amount of characters you can do in your copy to a massive number. and Neil Patel was talking about it. TikTok is making a search engine optimization play.
Oh yeah.
TikTok is more used as a search engine by Gen Z than Google.
I heard that.
Yeah. And so those are nuances where maybe the vertical creative is the same, but how are you using hashtags on each place? Are you writing extra copy, extra words? Is the title a little bit different? Can you upload a thumbnail, or do you select a thumbnail, or is it done differently? Do you upload a thumbnail externally? And so those best practices could be helpful for someone that just wants to start messy, which you should start before you're ready. Start messy, just start posting. Even if you didn't do all the best practices, it's still helpful once you've created the vertical asset to potentially put it a lot of places. If you make Hormozi style vertical videos, which a lot of people kind of the sit down, deliver one big idea, an editor throws some captions on there. It's is complex or not complex as you think. You just go straight through one big idea. That type of video can live almost anywhere. And then the final filter would be, maybe there's somebody that's being thoughtful to say, out of the last 20 vertical video clips we've created, 2 of these should be uploaded on LinkedIn. These all can go on TikTok because who cares, or we're just testing things. And maybe there's nuances to where you're posting it, but I don't even think you have to overthink it that much.
No, there's no harm to posting.
Exactly.
There's no cost.
Yeah. and that's a great point. And what's wild is, again, I like to measure certain ones that perform well. I like to measure after some time has passed how they did across platforms. And I'm not seeing a rhyme or reason. Again, sometimes TikTok might typically give you the most views. Doesn't mean the best views, but it's a lot of times the most. But some stuff goes bigger for me on Instagram, maybe because it's more personal and I feel like the following is more invested in me. So if it's more of a personal story, it kind of goes bigger. TikTok. But who cares? It's
you know what I've seen, like even posting across all these platforms, is it's just always changing, right? Because TikTok for me, years ago used to be like, it would kill it.
Yeah.
Right. And then Reels, when nobody was doing it, was brand new. I just started killing it on Reels.
Yep.
And then now they're both mature. Reels have matured. TikTok has matured. YouTube has, shorts are finally good, and they've got separate feeds for shorts and everything, which has been huge. I'm like seeing that TikTok, even though I have the most followers there, 1.1 million, gets the least amount of views. And Reels gets the most. And, shorts sometimes do really good, sometimes whatever. But it's interesting to see. And I've actually heard that from other influencers where they're like, yeah, if you've been on TikTok for a while now, they're kind of promoting new people, trying to get them going. And so I'm like, that would make sense because the content's the same everywhere. So it's just curious to see how that's working out.
Everyone right now should build a brand.
Yeah, 1000%.
Personal brand on social media is worth millions.
I started a new company for that.
What's it called?
Content Empire. I teach entrepreneurs how to build personal brands. It's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, people pay for that. I had an event the other day at my downstairs. I think we charged $5,000. Had about 60 people show up.
Mm-hmm.
And I taught them my process.
Yep.
And when they say, well, how do I know it works? Look at my social media.
You're watching it. You watch my social media. You know it works, right?
And it does work. And it's not that difficult. Yes, it takes time though. But you do it a little bit differently than I do.
Yeah.
You're what I would call a content creator.
Yeah.
I don't do it like that.
Right.
Although I do want to start doing more like that. You and Hormozy would be the same.
Yeah.
Hormozy does like you do. You
Yeah.
and Hormozy are similar.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people love that because you're giving frameworks and the way you're doing it is content creatory.
Yeah. I would say him and I are like the two guys in the entrepreneur space doing it that way.
What I do is I just allow a camera to film me being me, talking to whoever I'm talking to. And then I let a team chop that up and drop it. So when people say, I love your content, and I say, thanks, they're like, it's just so real. And I'm like, well, that's because it is real.
Just what I'm saying.
Like it is real. That's
yeah.
They're like, you're sure at your desk a lot. That's because I'm at my desk a lot.
I'm working.
But anyway, yeah, I'm glad I did it. I think everyone should do it.
Yeah. And what's your plan with it for the next couple of months? Like, I guess next couple of years? Is it to
I'm about to blow it up.
Are you going to just keep doing the same thing? Or are you going to become a content creator?
You can't do the same thing and expect different results.
Right.
So yeah, even though I don't grow fast enough. So I'm going to boost. I'm going to pay. I'm going to spend.
Oh, that's how you're going to grow. You're going to just boost all your posts.
I'm going to boost and advertise and spend. Like Ty Lopez spent $1 million a month on YouTube to become what he is today. Grant Cardone, before anybody was doing anything, Grant Cardone spent close to $1 million a month getting his face to pop up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So he had millions to spend. So lucky for him. A lot of people don't. Well, now that I also am in that category, I believe I'm just going to pay to be seen and exposed to more people. Because I think if the whole world knew who I was, I'd have way many followers and fans and attention. But the problem is they don't know who I am. So you have to show and expose yourself to everybody you can. And sometimes that's just a matter of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm willing to spend it because I already know the return.
Yeah.
You should do the same thing. You're not broke.
Yeah. Well, we're spending. So when you say you're going to boost, are you going to buy ads? Because I see you have ads for like,
I'm going to buy ads for my companies.
Yeah. You're going to, so your face is out there for the ad, but are you talking about just boosting organic content that has no
both
calls? Okay.
Both.
All right. I'd be curious how the organic one does, because since it's not, I mean, if they follow you, it will be monetized 1000%, but just not like directly that post.
No, like let's say, for example, I spent $1,000 a day boosting a piece of content that I thought was great. Well, number one, you can see how many new followers you got, and you can do the math, and you can see what it's costing you. But to me, to show it to an extra 50,000 people that don't follow me, that's what I'm paying for.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's already being shown and shared amongst the people that do.
Yeah.
And I pick up a little bit of here and there, but if I were to pay for it, well, then I'm going to go out and be exposed to a new audience. And they may not like me, which is why they don't follow me, which is fine. But at least we've given them an opportunity.
Right. Or they're going to follow you because they don't like you.
Either one. I don't care.
Look at Andrew Tate. A lot of his haters follow him just to be pissed.
Yeah. Which means they're still fans.
Exactly. It's a what's the saying? A hater's just like a it's like a delusional fan, essentially.
Or a jealous one.
Yeah, they're just like a fan deep down. They just don't know it.
Deep down, they're all fans if they're watching you.
It's true.